Hey everyone, Michael from Xano here. In this tutorial, I want to go over a couple of the array functions, which is remove from beginning of array and remove from end of array. So we're going to cover them both because they're both very similar. So just looking at my function stack here on the screen, if I go ahead and run this, I'm just creating this variable of a very simple array, A, B, C, and D. Remember, arrays can be simple structure like this with either scalar text or integers. And they can also be much more complex, right? They can be entire object arrays with various key value pairs and different data in there, right? So for this example, we'll keep it simple, but let's go into our function stack now under data manipulation and find arrays. And you'll see here near the top, here are the two functions we're talking about. Remove from end of array or remove from beginning of array. So let me click on remove from end of array here. And you'll see on the right here that we need to actually put in or select a variable name. So we need some variable or path in a variable in our function stack that is an array. So here I'll just simply use that array variable I created. And then this is interesting down here. So return removed element as optional. So this part is optional. We can basically specify a return variable for this function. And if we do, we can use that return variable as the value that is being removed. So that removed value would be contained in this return variable, but it's also going to update the array variable that we've selected here. So I'm just going to call this element here. Let me go ahead and save this. So if I first run this, we're just returning array. You'll see that our new array is A, B, and C. And look, you can even see I'll add to my response here. I'll also put an element here. And if I run this, you can see, well, our array variable, which is result1 here, is ABC, and our element is that removed variable D. So remove from the end, remove from the beginning would do the same thing, but with A, the function looks exactly the same. I also just want to point out that there are a couple filters that accomplish not quite the same thing, but very, very similar. So there is pop, which pops the last element of the array off and returns it. Okay, so if you applied that filter to the array, then that would be basically the value of that variable. And then there's also shift, which shifts the first element of the array off and returns it. So it's kind of similar to those functions, but you're just getting that removed element. Just wanted to point that out there because filters obviously have a lot of power and manipulation in them, and sometimes you might want to use those instead of the functions. But as you can see, pretty straightforward functions. Hopefully they were helpful and you learned a little more about manipulating arrays.